Hi, I'm Jandy. This is Jandy Sews, my little corner of YouTube where I talk all about cross stitch. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome, and thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. If you like what you see here, please, like and subscribe, do all the YouTube-y things so that you see my next videos. This is Flosstube number 9, and today I've got a lot of stuff. So, and I got notes, so I'm gonna keep looking down, but I counted. So I counted and I wrote it down. I have got 2 fully finishes, 1 finish, and then I have 7 new starts. 7. Went a little wild this month with the new starts, but 7 new starts, and then a few WIPS, and I don't remember what number I ended up on that, and I did write it down. It's fine. It's fine. We're going with it. It's going to be okay. So what I'd like to do is start out with, all of those. We're going to start out with the fully finishes. And then at the end of the video, I did go to stitch, what was it called? The Stitching Sirens Retreat in San Antonio, Texas. I want to talk to you a little bit about that, but I'll save that for the end so that if you're not interested and you're just here for the stitching, you can, skedaddle when we get there. So again, first of all, and this was something that I did at Stitching Sirens. This was a start and a finish. So a Sappho, I think is what we're calling those. But it was just this little needle book called, it says stabby things on it. Real cute. Now I didn't quite stitch the entire chart. Wildflower stitchery designed this, and there were supposed to be like black scissors in between these, and there were some more needles that would have gone on the back. But this was a class at Stitching Sirens, and I was behind, and I decided that I was fine with it not having those little pieces in there. I really just wanted to focus in on what the finish was and how that was accomplished. Really easy. It was really fun. Maria is a fantastic teacher. So highly recommend. Loved making this. So that was fun. You want to wait?
No.
No. All right. My other fully finish, we saw it finished, I think last month. We saw it finished last month. And then I had this framed. It's Pink Wren from JEDX, and hopefully we're not going to see too much glare. Oh, we're going to see a bit of glare. Sorry about that. But really, really like, oh, you can see me in that. Don't like that. But yeah, I just got this back. I actually had this framed by a frame shop in San Antonio, so I shipped it to them, and then I was able to pick it up in person just before the retreat started. So I'm really happy with this. I do wish maybe there was a little bit more margin, right, around the edge. But when we are doing a specialty frame, we kind of get what we get a little bit with these rounded ones, because there's only so many options, right? If I had stitched it maybe on an 18 count, that would have shrunk it up just a little bit. But I'm very, very happy with this, and I cannot wait to hang it on the wall. I have waited because I wanted to do this video, although I could have just pulled it up. I don't know. But yeah, it's really, really fantastic. I love it. All right, so those are my 2 fully finishes. Now I did have another finish, and again, last month I talked about this, and I had started it because it's been, okay, first of all, it's Blueberry J from JEDX. I started it because Yellow Canary was coming out, and I was like, I need to just get Blueberry J done before Yellow Canary comes out, because it's been waiting in the wings forever, and I really want it done. I really want to stitch it. Like, it's so much fun to do these birds on these bright colors. Like, I love doing these patterns. So it's not about just having it done. Like, I want to get to it. I just, there's always a new pattern coming out. It's difficult. So I had originally thought, well, if I did 1,000 stitches on this per day, I could get it done. Was that a reasonable goal? Maybe not. And then I posted, I was like, yeah, that's ridiculous. I'm not doing it. And then what happens to me often is that if I say I can't do something, then I want to prove myself wrong. So I start trying to prove myself wrong. And I kind of made it. Anyway, I did finish it. Did I finish it before Yellow Canary came out? No, but I did finish it in the month of June. So this is my Blueberry J from JEDX. I used the Roxy floss conversion on this. There were maybe one or two that I switched out for the DMCs just because I wanted a little bit different of contrast on this. This fabric is also from Roxy. It's called Pup Curl. Love it. Very, very happy with this and the way it turned out. I love doing all of these, like these motifs. So just counting them it tickles my brain. I really like doing anything like this. So very happy with this. I am going to take this to the framer to have it framed. I'm having it done in the same frame that I did Cherry Magpie, so that they'll be a matching set. And in fact, I'm gonna do Yellow Canary in the same one as well. I think that they're going to look fantastic, all on the same wall as part of a gallery wall. So eventually. Right now there's like 3 things hanging on the wall, but eventually it's gonna be a whole gallery wall. I did enjoy this. Now I worked on this at the retreat and I wanted to go ring the bell, but it was Sunday, it was late, and I had these little specialty stitches for the berries in here. That was all I had left. And I was like, it's like 12 or 15 specialty stitches, and I was tired and I was like, not gonna ring the bell. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't get to. I got home and finished it up the same day. So still got it done. Still got it done in the month of June. Okay. New starts. There were a lot of new starts this month. Yeah, let's go through these first with ones that were start-alongs. So first off, Katherine of Accounting My Stitches had a birthday start-along. She wanted you to stitch on something that brought you joy or had the word joy. And so I decided to do this pattern from Very Cross Stitch called I Was Sad, or maybe it's called Sad. But it says, I was sad, then I bought something online. I feel better now. And obviously not quite finished with this. I am doing the, oh, and I'm sorry, we can see through that. I'm so sorry. I'm in a little bit different of a position than normal. That window behind me is gonna cause a little bit of issue. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I am doing this on 16 count fabric from Be Stitch Me. It's in the shade Dusty Cottage. And I'm kind of using the called for DMCs, except for when I don't. Like if I don't have the color, I'm switching it. There was a lot of yellow and I decided, and I do like yellow, but I decided I wanted like all these little things here were supposed to be yellow. And I decided that they were gonna be pink instead. So it's, I probably shouldn't even say it's mostly the call for DMCs. It's not, it's just kind of whatever. And we're going off vibes. Vibes here, vibes. Now, the second start along I started in the month of June was for the Strawberry Moon stitch along. It's hosted by Marjorie Handmade every June. And I am doing this with Laura. So Laura and I decided to do this one from Carriage House Samplings. I think it's called Strawberry House. So I am doing mine on a scrap piece of 16 count Be Stitch Me. I think this is the color Blush, if I remember correctly. And I've gotten quite a bit done. I had hoped to finish it up. I just haven't had a chance to work on it since the first week. So Laura has finished hers, and I will tell you that Laura is much smarter than I am, because when she stitched hers, she left off this border. So she stitched just the house first and then decided whether or not she wanted the border, and she decided she did not want the border. The border is about half the stitch count. Like, it's a lot of stitches, like 1,800 stitches or something wild. I started putting in my border from the very beginning. So I'm kind of stuck with my border unless I want to pick that out, and I don't want to do that. So I do need to finish it all up. Where it's at now, it's going to be really good for fill-in. So I think this might travel with me a little bit. So especially because like this border is just all repeat, and then it gets filled in with white. I mean, it's a lot of stitches. So it gets filled in with white, although I could decide to leave out those whites. Maybe I should be smart like Laura and see how I feel about it, but I don't know. I'll probably end up putting the white in anyway. I can't be smart like other people. But yeah, I just think like that's stuff I can do anywhere without a pattern. I can repeat things, right? So that's what might be where it goes, but I think it's really cute. I can't remember what the number was supposed to be on the house. I just put the year that I got married on the house. Okay, my last start along, which was it a start along? I don't know. It was an accidental start along. At Stitching Sirens, I was sitting with Jamie of Little X, and one morning we both pulled out a new project to start, and we started stitching, and then looked over, and we were both starting Coffee and Eggs. So from RC Housewife. We both did start this in different spots, which was fun. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Let's see if this is gonna be any better. Okay. We both started this in different spots, but this is where I've gotten up to. I worked on it mostly at the retreat, but I have done some work on this since I got home. I started with the lady, and then Jamie started with the plant. So I was like, oh, we could put them together and they'll look full. I am doing this on a 20 count fabric. And oh dear, of course I don't have the tag. This is a 20 count fabric though, from Under the Sea Fabrics. So I bought a ton of fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics during Stitching Sirens. So this is just one of them. It's a really pretty taupe color. I think the white looks very good on it. I did have to switch out this color, and it's a little neon-y, and I'm undecided about it. But because the called for was just blending in and ghosting so much with this particular fabric. Yeah, I am really enjoying stitching this. Love stitching with one strand. So that's always nice when I'm pulling out a 20 count, and it just is so, you know, dainty in the 20 count. So I do enjoy that. One of these days I'm going to start stitching on linen, and I know I'm going to be a 40 count girly, but if I could see it. I don't know if these eyes could do it. So 20 count for me for now. All right, next one. I did finish Blueberry J in the month of June. And I said I wasn't going to start Yellow Canary until I finished that. I'm a big fat liar. Liar. But so I pulled out this fabric, and I mean, let's look how pretty it is. So I had originally ordered from Roxy Floss the fabric and floss to do cherry mac pie, and because it was shipping from Canada, I decided I would go ahead and get the Blueberry J1 as well, the floss for it. And then I wasn't really sure which color of fabric to get for that. So I ordered a few different ones. One of them was that Pup Crawl, which is what I ended up doing it on. The other one is this Fresh, which love. And I decided that this is what Yellow Canary is going on. So this is how much I got done on Yellow Canary. I, again, didn't wait until Blueberry J was done. I justified that by saying I was gonna do a quick floss toss, and then I was like, I need to stitch a couple of stitches and just see what it looks like on there. And a couple stitches got into this. But I'm just kind of trucking along on this. It's been really fun to stitch. This one has more Quaker motifs than ones in the past, and like these butterflies are really fun to stitch. There are things that you just don't notice until you start stitching them out. And actually, it's not on this one, it was on Blueberry J. Blueberry J had like these bows that I didn't even notice. Every time I looked at the pattern, never noticed it until I started stitching them. I was like, oh, these are bows. They're like really cute. Anyway, really pretty. I did have to switch out this color. It was a prettier, like aqua teal color, but it was just ghosting so much into my fabric. I didn't like it, so I switched it out for this more grayish color. I don't know. Sometimes when I switch things, I'm like, I don't know how I felt, but I think I'm gonna like it overall. So it is, like, I do like it. I could have gone like darker instead, but the original picture kind of looked ghosty. Anyway, I very happy with this. I do want to give this give this some more love this month. We'll see if I manage to do that or not. I do want to start a few other JEDX pieces, and of course I'm telling myself that I can't start them until this one's done, but we do know again that I'm a big fat liar and might just go ahead and start anyway. So we'll see how it goes. All right, next new start. I mentioned, if I say that I can't do something, I do like to prove myself wrong. I'm like, I don't want to admit defeat. No, thank you. So I am teaching a class at Midsummer Stitch. It's going to be the DIY journal cover planner. It's the Stitch and Plan class. It's really cute. I originally did it with a JEDX piece called Circle, Circle, Dot, Dot. So it's just a traveler's journal, right? You open this up and you've got your planner, your notebooks and stuff in this. I'm going to, construct for one of these during class in a couple of weeks. And I did not have another stitch piece ready to go. So I was kind of on the fence about if I was going to stitch a whole piece, if I was going to take something that I had stitched previously and repurpose it. Maybe I would take a stitch piece or a few like little smalls and patchwork them together and use that. So I don't know, just lots of different ideas. Posted a video about that, like what other ideas you could have if you don't want to, do an entire piece, or maybe you want to preserve some of your cross stitch fabric or whatever. You could do that. Posted it, and then I thought, I can stitch something. I've got plenty of time. So that's what I did. Tiny Modernist has the cutest bell pull pattern called Cactus and Caravan. And I was able to take, just a portion of that for the front of the cover and stitch that out. So I've done that. I'm not considering this fully finished because first of all, it's missing back stitches. I'm so sorry about this light. I should have thought about that. I'll think about it a little bit more next time. But this is Cactus and Caravan from Tiny Modernist. So this is going to be my front. It's not fully finished, like I said, because it's missing some back stitches. I'm going to get to it. So it's like probably 20 back stitches. It'll be fine. I'll get there. Also, I'm not considering it fully finished because this is the front, but this bell pull is really long and it has some really cool other motifs in it. And I'm thinking that I am going to measure out my placement and maybe put a motif on the back and then maybe a motif on the inside cover. What I'm thinking right now, so if we look at this one, so like I'm thinking I might put one of the flowers or some of the flowers on the back here. Not 100% sure on that one. But then on the inside of the journal, you have this piece that's stitched and there's a cute flamingo on one of the bands of the bell pull. And I think that flamingo is gonna go there on that. So we'll see what I get done. But that is Cactus and Caravan from Tiny Modernist. And I am using all of the called for DMC. And this fabric is actually a printed fabric. So if I fold it over, you can see it's printed. It called In the Dirt from JEDXStitch. So I thought that was a fun fabric to use. Okay, next one is also a pattern from Tiny Modernist. I am part of her Patreon, and she had a new pattern come out. Well, a new pattern comes out on the 5th every month. Today is July 6th, so this came out yesterday. It's called Life is Sweet. It's so pretty. But this is where I've gotten to so far. This is a whole like summer themed Quaker sampler, like, and it's got these tropical birds and there's like fruit and watermelon. I think the watermelon is so cute. Like, it's adorable. But this is what I got done last night. So you see I'm kind of jumping around just a little bit. I wanted to make sure that white was going to look good on here, and then, you know, just jumping around to whatever I feel like, because vibes, and we can do that. This is 16 count hydrangea from Fiber on a Whim. It's really pretty. The called for, or well, the picture shows it in gray. I'm sure I've shown the picture somewhere here, but the gray is the called for, but she also suggests a bunch of other colors, and I do believe purple was one of them. And there's not any purple floss, so I think this is going to work out really well. I shouldn't have to switch out any of the colors. At least it didn't look like I was going to have to when I did my floss toss. My next new start, oh, and I should have put this with the other ones because this one is a stitch along. This is a stitch along with Fat Quarter Shop. It's the Jolly Tree Farm stitch along. It's a free pattern. You just go to their website and download it. One part comes out every week, I believe on Mondays. I think the second part probably came out today. I've only done the first part. I did last week's part, but it's very, very small. It's gonna be a quick, easy finish. It's gonna make a cute little pillow. I am doing this on 16 count Milk and Honey from Fiber on a Whim. And that is the first part. So, I mean, you can see this is very, very tiny. And I am using the called for fancy flosses. I think they're Classic Colorworks. That's what they are. So I'm using those, and it is just this quick little easy pattern. I think it's going to be cute. You do have the option, it is a free pattern like I mentioned, but you do have the option of paying for the pattern and then you get the entire thing right away. So if you don't want to wait and do each part every week, you don't have to, like you can pay for it if you want. All right, that was my last new start. So we can go into some of my WIPs. This first WIP is from the Witchy Stitcher. It's called Halloween Time. So I am doing this on a piece of Be Stitch Me fabric. I have no idea what shade it is. I got it in a grab bag, but he's very, very cute. I'm loving him on, like, I mean, this is very like yellowy green. I just think he looks adorable on this fabric. Last time we saw him, he just had his head and then like this middle of his little suit or tuxedo. And so he looked like kind of like a sucker. Now he's got arms and he has the sides of this, and I've started getting down to his legs a little bit. Not very far into that, but that's what's new really, are these two sides here. He's gonna have, he has like a little, I think like a little trick-or-treat pail that he holds in his legs. I'm probably showing the picture. I don't know why I'm telling you what it's gonna look like. I'm sure I put it up there, but like there's a whole frame that needs to go in. This was one that I didn't start with the frame because I thought maybe I'll make him a little stand-up or something, although I did put in the moon, so maybe I shouldn't have done that. But that was kind of a thought for a brief moment, so it didn't start out with the frame. I'll probably put it in because it is really, really adorable. This little kitty, she has several patterns that feature him, and I'd like to make more of them because I do think he is, again, he's adorable. So adorable. Next is the Book Goddess from Tiny Modernist. Now, I did say that she was going to be my travel companion for quite some time because her dress was taking forever to finish. I got her dress finished, so she will not be traveling with me as much, or at least she won't be my fill-in travel companion. She could still come along for some trips if like as my piece that I need a chart for. But I did, again, finish her dress, so it is all filled in. Very happy about that. I mean, not the top, but the skirt. The skirt is all filled in. So pretty. I love it. It took forever. It took forever. So enjoyable though to stitch her up. I'd like to start doing these motifs over on this side when I have a little bit more time. I wish that I just had, I need more hours in the day between work and family. Just, man, if I could just sit and stitch all the time. But I do enjoy my family, so maybe not. But I'm doing this on 16 count fabric from Be Stitch Me in Wild Bouquet. It's a really like pretty fabric. It's got all the things. So she is adorable. I am, again, gonna need to devote some more time to her, but I just thought fabric is so pretty. All right, next up is it is kind of a stitch along. It's the Modern Folk Embroidery yearly sal. I think everybody just kind of stitches at their own pace, but it's little acorns. And I am doing mine on 16 count hot cocoa from Be Stitch Me. This is where I am up to. So last time we saw this, I didn't have anything under these birds, and I didn't have that full piece in the center done. Like this piece here, that wasn't done. And then I didn't have any of the back stitching done. So you can see all that little back stitching on that very bottom one. And then like the little back stitching around here. It does get just like a lot of it. That was a lot of little. Anyway. It's fun. It's been good to work on. Like everything else, I want to get more time and work on it a bit more. There's another band of letters that say the next part of the poem underneath. So that'll be the next step, but I do want to finish this whole box, because that is a whole box. It's much larger than most of the other ones. But I'd like to finish that whole box there before I move on to the other letters. So, but I do really enjoy stitching those letters. I know that's not for everybody, but I have found I do enjoy stitching the letters. Another thing is that when I started this, I had originally planned that I was going to have to take out at least one of the bands because I didn't think that my fabric was big enough. And it might be big enough to put the whole thing. Part of the problem, or which is not a problem, right? Like, that's great. I could put in the whole thing. However, I'm using 5 different colors and a gradient as I'm, working my way down this. Like, it's going into, let's go on this side so that you can see several different colors. But it's a gradient that I'm working my way down, and I split it up between those colors based off of not stitching that one band. So if I throw it back in there, they're not going to be quite as even as they were. I don't know if anyone else will notice that or care about that. I don't even know that I'm going to notice or care, but it's something that I'm thinking about, that it might be an issue for me. Next up is Summer Moon, or wait, no, this one's Spring Moon. Spring Moon from Plum Street. This one is just so gorgeous. I mean, I love this. So I've done quite a bit on this, like that bowl and the leaves. I'm just kind of filling them in. I'm using all of the called for fancy flosses, with the exception of there was one that was called Peacoat, and it just didn't look very blue to me. And when I saw a model of this at the LNS, there's where that Peacoat was like very blue. I really liked it. So I switched it out for a silk. So that was just a little bit more blue. I like it better. I think it's gonna be pretty. So I'll just keep working on this. This is also something that I've set up for fill-in work. So I've got like this whole roof to fill in, these leaves to fill in, and then this checkerboard house was so much fun. But I only have one part of the checkerboard done, right? The other part needs to be done, which again, fill in. So I've set that up for myself to do that. I had made a really big effort to do that before the retreat. I wanted to ensure that I had stuff that was at that point. Turns out I did not need as much fill-in as I thought I was going to need, because I ended up like working on that artsy housewife, which was not fill-in at all. I talked and counted and it was fine. Always get a little bit worried about the talking and the counting and how well those two things are going to go hand in hand, but it was fine. Fine. All right, my very last WIP today is Dot the Bird from Kathy Barrick. I am doing this on a 20 count fabric from Under the Sea Fabrics, and I am doing this with my own silk conversion. And I say my own, and I'll tell you that Jen over at Under the Sea Fabrics like pulled all of the silks and we went through them together. So amazing to do that for me. So, but this is what Dot the Bird looks like so far. This has been just a joy to stitch. Love the colors, love stitching with the silk, love stitching with one strand. This is much smaller than I had originally thought that it was going to be. Part of that's definitely because it's on 20 count. I mean, that's gonna do it right there. But it's much smaller. I don't know, like the bird is tiny. And these little houses, right? Like they're tiny. And when I looked at the chart, I thought they were much larger. I don't know. I'm not sure what size the model is stitched on either. Not that I haven't seen this like model in person anywhere. But I really like it. My pink is definitely more vibrant, or looks more vibrant than the picture on the pattern. And then all of my other colors are just kind of a little bit, maybe a little bit more vibrant, or I don't know, or the same. But I like this. It's fun to stitch. And I haven't been having too much of a problem stitching on this in the evenings, so it's always great. Okay, that is it for all of my stitching this month. Thank you so much if you made it this far, but you don't want to hear about the retreat. Totally get it. Thanks for stopping by. We're done with everything else. If you want to stay and hear about a little bit more about the retreat, fantastic. Few things. Let's see. So the retreat was in San Antonio, Texas. It was a Thursday through Sunday. So, and really like full 4 days. It started at 10 a.m. on Thursday, and then the room was open until 8 p.m. on Sunday. Now, I don't know how many people stayed that late into the evening on Sundays. I imagine that some people had to travel home on Sunday. I certainly was one of those people, but I do know some people were staying until Monday at the hotel. They were staying for every hour of the retreat, which is fantastic. It wasn't an option for me, but it was fantastic. I did go up on Wednesday evening, and that allowed me to just kind of check into the hotel and not have to get up early on Thursday. It's about a 3-hour drive for me, and I was making that drive by myself, and just decided that I would feel better, well rested on Thursday if I didn't have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to drive down to San Antonio. The hotel itself was very nice. I think that they do all of the retreats there, or they have been doing the most recent ones there. It's a resort, so they have a bunch of kids activities, like great for your family. I obviously was not there with my family, and most of the retreat goers, I don't believe, were there with their family, but there may have been a few that had husbands and kids with them. They did have a couple of nice pools, and there's a restaurant there, and then a pool bar that served food. And they also had fire pits all over outside. And every evening they gave out like little s'mores kits and a stick, and you could go make s'mores, because again, it's a resort like for families. But you can bet that me, grown-ass woman, went and got herself a s'mores kit every single night. It was delicious. Sorry. Didn't mean to kick the camera. But yeah, I had s'mores every night. I decided that was going to be my treat during the retreat, and that's what I had. And it was fantastic. I love a good s'more. Like, how can you not love a s'more? And the room itself, we were in a ballroom. We had the big round tables. The tables were sat 6 to a table, which is so nice. Some retreats do 8 to a table. I've heard a couple doing 10. 8 to the table is pretty tight. 10 doesn't seem super comfortable to me. Imagine you're kind of like this, unless they're like bigger than normal banquet tables, like the round banquet tables, which then how are you going to talk? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think 6 was nice. It was very, very comfortable. I sat with a few different people. So there were 2 friends from 2 women who came as friends that were here from New Orleans. So Erin and Monique, they were really nice, fun to talk to. Then I was also sitting with Jamie from Leto X. I know her from, Flosstube, and talking to her a little bit or chatting with her a little bit on Instagram. So it was great to get to sit with her and know her better. She is so much fun and just kind and really personable, easy to talk to. So it was very fun to sit and chat with her. The other two women at our table were from Notorious Needles. So Sarah and Bridget, they were so much fun too. We just had such a good time at our table, and everybody was working on kind of different things. Although Jamie and I both started That Artsy Housewife. Erin was working on something for Dirty Annie's, and oh my goodness, Monique, I think, got one project all the way start to finish, at the retreat. She was just working on it the entire time. So it was a good time, and we had some fun people sitting around us as well that we met. One person who was sitting at the table next to me, but behind, we were kind of back to back. She's from my town, where I live now, and that was, I was that's so random that we're meeting here in San Antonio. So we're gonna have to get together and have coffee and stitch, I think. So she was really funny. Yeah, just so many great great people at the different tables that we got to meet. Leslie, who's the owner of Under the Sea Fabrics and does of course all the fabric dyeing, was there, and I had never actually met her before. I've just seen her online. She's fantastic. She was really funny when she got up and talked and played the games. Just a really fun person. Jen, who is the manager over at Under the Sea, fantastic. I have met her a few times. And then they had a whole group of volunteers that were helping to make sure that things went off without a hitch. They also acted as the floss fairies. So several times during the retreat, they would walk around and give out a little goodie to everyone. That was so much fun. I enjoyed that. I mean, we did get a goodie bag at the very beginning that had several things in it, but it was fun to get those, instead of getting everything all at once, to get them kind of spread out throughout the retreat. You kind of had to look forward to, and it kind of highlighted things. I think sometimes we get everything all at once, and it's easy to overlook things or forget about it. It's so much stuff. So it really did highlight the fun things that we were given. We got, floss from different companies. We got different patterns. We got little trims, and we got a cute little needle minder with the logo or the artwork for the Sirens Retreat on it. There was just a lot of things, and it did just kind of highlight it. But all of the people who work for Leslie or who were volunteers for the retreat really did just make it such a special experience. They definitely put a lot of work in it, and you could feel that throughout the retreat. There were, like I said, several games that were played. I did win. I won one of the games, and I got this beautiful hank of silk from Gloriana's. It's so pretty. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but probably some sort of Quaker. I think that if we were to hazard a guess, that's probably what's going to happen. There was another game where you were looking for these little flowers that they were hiding throughout the retreat area of the hotel, and then for every 10 that you found, you could go and you could play a game, and you would win a prize there. I think one of the prizes I won, and it's so hard, I have so much stuff here, I really do. Oh dear. I think one of the prizes I won was this Plum Street Samplers pattern, and then it actually came with the floss for it. So I think that this is a really, really cute small, and I do actually plan on stitching this. That one was fun. Another thing that they had at the retreat were classes. There were classes being taught by Maria from Wildflower Stitchery, and then from Raymond of Ghost Boy Needleworks. He was teaching some beading classes. I did not sign up for the beading classes. I, wasn't sure. Well, I wasn't sure that I wanted to, and also like, I was like, I don't want to overwhelm myself with classes, right? Like, anyway, kind of wish that I would have signed up for his class, because I did end up buying this pattern from him. I think this is really, really cute. It's peyote beading. So I got this pattern, and it has the whole kit in it, and then I got like the different supplies. Like, there's a few different things that I got like to go with that. Maria was teaching needlebook classes. I think she might have had another class as well, because Raymond was teaching a needlepoint class too. Can't remember what else she might have been teaching. But I did take her needlebook class. It was so much fun. She is very fun. I really enjoyed talking to her. I also got a couple of patterns from her. One of them was the free pattern for the retreat. This is Bloom and Stitches. So the retreat theme was red, white, and bloom. So we got the bloom here. This is cute. And I did get the Threadworks threads to stitch this. There was a Threadworks thread pack. The other pattern I got from her was, I actually didn't purchase, Sarah and Bridget, Sarah from Notorious Needle. They got this for me, which was so sweet. I was telling them that I had purchased I had gotten the Pirate and Robin threads. I have like the little thread keep that has the pattern printed on it. I had purchased that a while ago, and I just hadn't gotten around to actually purchasing the pattern, but like it's been on my list. I'm like, I really need to just buy that pattern. I hadn't done it. Anyway, they bought me the pattern. Isn't that sweet? So it's the Funky Bird pattern, and I'm sorry we're seeing reflection. But I think this is very cute. I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to do this on. I do need to pull out, I should pull out the flosses and do a floss toss, but I'm not quite ready to start doing this, but yeah. But this is Funky Bird from Wildflower Stitching, and it is adorable. I did get, I don't want to go through a bunch of haul for the retreat. I did get just a ton of fabric. Under the Sea does a mystery fabric. You get a fat eighth, and it's in a paper bag, and you just pick out your count and whether or not it's opal. And anyway, I love that. Like, I have, I'm trying to collect more 20 count. So like, instead of like buying like a whole half yard or like trying to pick it out, I was like, we're just gonna let the fates decide. And so I did get a few of those. Really happy with the colors I ended up with. It was kind of nice variety. I think more of a variety than I would have had if I had to pick it out myself. I made smalls for the small exchange. I will post them here, I'm sure. One of them was one of the patriotic snippets from Summer House Stitchworks. I did that, and then and it's on oh, it's that potatoes in the name from Laugh-In Loops. Small potato. I did that on small potato with just some, I think, fancy flosses that I had, not the ones that were called for. And then I also did an itch to stitch. It's one of the skinny minis from October House. I also did that on small potato. Actually, I have several smalls started on small potato. I had to cut those off so that I could finish them up. In the smalls exchange, there were 2 smalls exchanges. One of them was red, white, and bloom. So, and it could be patriotic or floral for that exchange. And then the other one was just open. So you can tell which one I did for which. Obviously. But I did the 2 exchanges, and I happened to pick, for the smalls that I received, you know, I was picking the bags, I happened to pick bags that were both from the same person. So that was funny. And because of that, I have 2 matching little smalls, and they are so cute. And I feel like I'm gonna say her name wrong. I think it's Micheline, or Michelin. I'm not sure. But anyway, these are the 2 smalls that I got from her. I think this one was the one that was in the patriotic, and this was the one that was in the open. And I think she said, because she had thought like that this was like the violets, like it was gonna be like bluish. But I was like, it's floral. Like you were good no matter what, because floral. So anyway, very cute. And the way she finished these, and she did her little stamp on the back, I thought that was adorable too. There was a mystery box exchange. There were 12 prompts. You went through the prompts, and then you like numbered, like you wrapped and numbered each individual thing. So I participated in that. Some of the prompts were like, some of them were harder than others. One of them was like froggy, and so I got the whimsical Quaker pattern from Primrose Cottage and put that in because it has frogs on that. And I just thought, you know, that's such a brand new pattern. Hopefully whoever gets it hasn't actually purchased that yet. Like, it'll be something new. And then there was like, I'm trying to remember which prompts some of the things like I purchased, and they were like, they could have gone for a couple of different prompts. So then it kind of depended what I thought as I was putting things in. Like I got like one of them, I know it needed to be like a mermaid theme, or then there was like one favorite color, and I don't know, different things. But like I had bought like a needle minder that looked like a, what are those old-fashioned brooches? The ones with the silhouettes? Can't think of it. Anyway, it looked like one of those, but it had a mermaid on it, and I thought that was really cute. One of the days the prompt was floral, and so I put in fancy flosses that were all like flower colors. So I was like, it's like a floral bouquet. I don't know. Tried to make something that somebody would like. The person who did mine did such a great job, and she really like kept on theme. Like there was like everything was strawberry-ish, and kind of just matched in with that. She did like this little cute strawberry pincushion, and there were these like floss drops, and then they have a little strawberry on them. There was also a grind guard, which was very nice. It was very nice. It was made out of this exact same fabric. You could tell it was very well stitched. I, however, don't use grime guards because I don't stitch in a hoop, but there were several people at my table who do stitch in a hoop, and one of them, well, a couple of them wanted, one of them got it. So I did not want that to go to waste at my house because it was really nice. There was also like a pattern like this strawberry pattern. So I don't know, like she did such a great job. It was really nice. It was a fun little, you know, extra thing to do during the retreat. For table gifts, we got so many different things. We got a little orc container that was crocheted. Bridget crocheted those. We also got these little you know, measuring tape that are covered in crochet. And Jen crocheted these for every retreat attendee. So Jen and Bridget should have been hanging out because they both, and I say that like that was a table gift, but Bridget and Sarah gave out gifts to every attendee. So Bridget didn't just crochet, you know, 6 or 5, because there was, you know, 5 other people at the table. She didn't just crochet that many orc containers. She did, you know, like 120 or however many people were there. So, and then Jen also did like that many. They're crazy. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. Just wild, right? Just wild. I did, for table gifts, I made project bags again. So I just did these little project bags, and then on the back. So some of them were the same pattern, but like the blue colorway. And then on the inside, it just, oh, and that's the blue colorway. All of the insides were just different. So just, you know, went off vibes when I was putting those together. My roommate Addie did like fun bags with like, oh my gosh, an overwhelming amount of stuff. So fans and a mug like to use at the retreat, and you know, just different things, which was really nice of her. So I actually didn't get to hang out much with Addie. Addie is from Houston, and she and I just met. So recently we met at our local needlework store. It was really fun and nice to be able to hang out with her a little bit more at the retreat. Although I'm gonna say just a little bit more. We were on totally different schedules. So she was up all night, like just burning the midnight oil. I was going to bed early and getting up pretty early every day. So we were just kind of like ships passing in the night, which is actually kind of nice for like when you have a roommate, right? Like we both, I think, probably felt like we had our own room most of the time, weren't disturbing each other, or at least trying not to disturb each other. But it did mean like we didn't see each other as much during the retreat. But she does live here, and we do like, there's a monthly get together at the LNS that I'm going to attempt to start going to on a regular basis. So I will get to see her and some of the other great people that I've met that live locally at that. Yeah, that might be, let's see, I'm going to insert a video of the brag table. There were a lot of amazing things on the brag tables, like people outdid themselves for that. So I will insert that. also insert a video of the smalls table. The stash, I got a few of these cottage garden sampling charts that have snowmen on them. Thought they were cute. So I'd like to stitch this one first, I think. They were cute. There were a lot of different things. I brought some stuff to clear out, which was always good, right? Like, it's good to take some stuff out of the house, especially when you're bringing things in. Yeah. Anyway, I think that is it for me for today. If you made it all the way through this, bless you. Thank you so much. Please, again, like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you were stitching on today. I'd love to hear, and if you're working on any of the same projects, I would love to hear about that. And I plan on being back in probably a month. We might do a little bit sooner because that class is coming up, and I probably will want to just like check in and tell you how that went. If you weren't able to join and you're interested at all, I don't know. I will want to do my to be like, this is what I felt really good about. Maybe this is what I'm going to improve for next time. But I'm just very much looking forward to that class. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, again, thank you so much for joining me, and happy stitching. Bye.